What is up, guys? Sin here, and today we're going to be going over all of the new pre-spoiler season previews for Flesh and Blood Uprising. If you've been kind of following on the Flesh and Blood website over the past couple days, you will see that we have new cards from the upcoming Uprising set. Now, this will be the next draftable sealed enabled set for Flesh and Blood, and we already know Iyslander is going to be getting an adult version. Iyslander was the elemental wizard first introduced in Everfest back in February, but she was only introduced to the Blitz format, but now she has an adult version, so you know, here she is here, and you know, it's the same character, same type of deal, and yeah, so we have a bunch of previews to go through here. So you know, we have the token version of Iyslander Stormbind. This is the adult version of Iyslander. Iyslander is getting a young hero reprint at token level, which will also allow her to then be played in the commoner format, which is awesome. For those familiar with Tales of Aria and the the channel, the kind of cycle of channels, channel auras, we have a new channel called Channel the Bleak Expanse. It has Go Again, well, pitches for 3, costs 1, Go Again. Heroes can't reveal cards, search decks, or draw cards from effects. It has Channel Ice, just like Channel Lake Frigid did, where at the beginning of your end phase, put a flow counter on Channel the Bleak Expanse, then destroy it unless you put an ice card from your pitch zone on the bottom of your deck for each flow counter on it. So this is going to be really good at controlling some of those decks that like to draw cards and search. Obviously, this is a lot of Iyslander. Ice in general is, you know, built around what would be like the equivalent to control. So up next we have the Majestic Encase. It's an ice fusion elemental wizard action. Costs 0, pitches for 1. Deals 3 arcane damage to any target. If Encase was fused and deals damage to a hero, you freeze that hero and all equipment they control until the start of your next turn. Freeze is a new keyword mechanic. A frozen object cannot be played or activated. So this card is a bit of a monster as well. It also comes in kind of like this new elemental wizard action frame, which I think is gorgeous. It's just this like blend of purples and, you know, greens and blues and just all of these really pretty hues. So I really like this new frame. LSS keeps knocking it out of the park with these class specific frames. Ice Bolt, this is going to be your typical kind of just like attack action for a wizard, which is not even an attack action, it's just a regular non-attack action. Pitches for 3, play, you know, costs 2 to play, deal 3 arcane damage to any target. I think this is probably, since this is common, it's probably going to come in a red, yellow, blue cycle. The blues are definitely going to get played in Iyslander as well as the reds. I'm not so sure about the yellows yet. We'll kind of have to see how people tool her, you know, her abilities. So, you know, I deal 3 arcane to any target. I would think if it's going to end up being red, it's going to end up being 5 arcane, which is pretty good. That's pretty decent. But yeah, so realistically though, Iyslander's probably going to want to play the blue ones because of her hero ability, where you can play blue non-attack action cards from your arsenal as though they were instants. So on your opponent's turn, you just, you know, pitch 2 and arcane bolt to the face for 3 while your opponent's attacking you. So, you know, wizard stuff. So a couple days ago, we got 2 more. First Iyslander spec ever. It's plays for an XX and pitches for 3. Has Ice Fusion. You create X Frostbite tokens under your target hero's control. Then, if Ice Eternal was fused, deal arcane damage to that hero equal to the number of Frostbites they control. So this is kind of a nice, like, this could be a win con, right? You know, this could be a win con if you're coming off of creating a bunch of frostbites on your opponent's turn that they can't stop. I'm not quite sure. Once again, we're gonna have to wait till we see where the set goes, but this is a really cool card. I kind of jokingly called it the Sonata for the Sonata for Elemental Wizards, but it's a little bit different than Sonata. But pitches for XX, same rules as like Sonata Arcanic Supplies, and kind of goes from there. Ice Bind, which is really interesting to me. Pitches for 3, cost 0 to play. Ice Fusion, deal 1 arcane damage to any target. If Icebind was fused and deals damage to a hero, freeze a card in their arsenal until the start of your next turn. So this is more Ranger hate. Rune Blades, I know, like when I'm playing Rune Blade, I like to always have an arsenal. This is kind of this could kind of hurt. This could really hurt, but it's all about that control when you're playing with ice and frostbite tokens. We learned that with Oldhim and we learned that with Oldhim and Ice Lexi during like the Tales of Aria. I don't want to say era because we're still kind of in it, but you know what I mean. Day 3, this is where things get interesting. So we have a new card type, a new type of aura. It's called Afflictions. So we know in this set we're going to be getting a new type of aura called Afflictions. Now, Afflictions enter the arena under an opposing hero's control. So when you play an Affliction, the card kind of comes in, whenever it enters the arena, it goes to your opponent's side of the field. So this is something that affects your opponents, and the first one we have is an Isolator specialization called Frost Hex. It plays for 3 and pitches for 3. It's an Isolator spec, Affliction Aura. Frostbites you control have, at the beginning of your end phase, this deals 1 arcane damage to you. So you would give this to your opponent, and at the end of their turn, they would get pinged for 1 arcane. The next one is Hypothermia. Pitches for 3, plays for 0. An Affliction enters the arena under an opposing hero's control. Attacks you control can't gain Go Again. So this shuts down any Go Again on your turn as long as it sits there. At the beginning of your end phase, destroy Hypothermia. So Hypothermia is a little more controlled than Frost Hex is. Frost Hex kind of sits there. Runic Reclamation, if you're playing Runeblade, does not touch it. I'm expecting to see some kind of aura destruction in the set, but these are, so Frost Hex is an ice wizard action and Hypothermia is an ice action. So other ice heroes can play Hypothermia. So Oldhim and Lexi are able to play Hypothermia. Day 4, so these are the last 2 that we currently have available to us to kind of read through and take a look at. Cold Snap, it plays for 1, pitches for 3. Target hero may pay 1 resource. If they don't, freeze a card in their arsenal or an ally they control until the start of your next turn. Confirmation that there will be some kind of ally system similar to Chain and Levia in Monarch, where, Levia had Blasphemate and Chain had Ursa. So if Cold Snap is played from an arsenal, draw a card, go again. So this is kind of a stop for that. And I'm wondering if with this ally system what we're going to end up seeing. Now this is what interests me. This next card here, Thaw. Thaw is a draconic action. Pitches for 1, plays for 2. While Thaw is in your graveyard at the start of your turn, you may banish it and choose 1. Destroy target Frostbite, destroy target Ice Affliction, unfreeze target frozen card. So what's interesting about this is Draconic is a new, kind of talent that has been introduced, that will be introduced in Uprising. So we don't know what hero this applies to yet. We're theorizing right now that it might be a Draconic Brute, simply because it does 6 damage and you want it to be in your graveyard. It kind of plays within the realms of what brutes aim to accomplish. It could also be some kind of new wizard, maybe, or maybe a 2-wizard set. But I think what we're going to be going for with Uprising is it's going to be similar to Monarch, where we'll have 2 elemental heroes and 2 draconic heroes. Now, we don't know what Draconic entails, because Elemental, entails, it could be Earth, Ice, Lightning. Draconic could encompass anything. So we might have 2 new essences that only apply to Draconic heroes. We're not, obviously we won't know yet, but I feel like in a couple days we will start to see some things whenever In Flames, the new story, which I probably will be covering here on the channel, goes live, and Uprising, which I'm assuming this will be kind of the news piece explaining more about what is coming in the Uprising set. I'm very excited for it. I know my entire play group is excited for it. I'm sure there's gonna be a lot of good discussions about it. I will be attending SCG Con Pittsburgh this Saturday and Sunday, and I'll be playing the Battle Hardened on Sunday. So you know, if you are a Flesh and Blood player and you plan on going out there to play, let's jam some casual games, let's chat. You know, I'd like to hear everybody's thoughts about what cards have been revealed for Uprising. Sound off in the comments if you have any hot takes on what might be coming in the set, and also be sure to hit like on the video and subscribe if you're into it and you dig it. Really appreciate it and helps the channel. Thanks guys, and have a good week.